Hey everybody, how we doing tonight? Just doing a nice chill stream tonight. I clean off my desk from D&D. Did some Dungeons and Dragons painting yesterday. We might join in and do a little bit of that tonight. Oh, there's a spectator. So let's see. I don't need the frost giant or my dragon on this table. We'll just shove all the paints off to the side here. We don't need paintbrushes. But really our water, and we don't need little orange. Or big blue. You know what? Yeah, we'll get rid of the dragon too. So I wanted to do just I was gonna sit down and do a good long sanding and prep session for this Gundam build. And rather than do it by myself, alone in the dark, I don't really have anything to watch on TV, I figured I could go ahead and go live. So if anyone's chilling this late in the US, or I can maybe catch some EU viewers here in a couple hours, we'll all hang out together. Let's go ahead and get there's our slad from the last channel. The last one. I'll tell you what we don't need. We do not actually need some of the aspects here of my stream overlay. So let's go ahead and we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna remove some stuff. Let's see here. Let's see. We'll just hide the commission screen. This is not a commission. Not offering commissions on Gundam models yet. Just doing some analysis on them. Hey, Dr. Praetorius, how you doing? Hey, I was doing some painting too, and I was about to start working on this Gundam, and I knew it was going to be a really late night, so I figured, you know what, I'll go live, because I wanted to not do this alone if possible. So yeah, this isn't my normal stream at all. No face or anything like that. In fact, let's go ahead and hide that little face box as well. I just wanted some nice and chill stuff. Let's see here. I need to select the little box. Oh, that is the whole box. There we go. Dr. Praetorius, you are a little Nidorino there. That's fun. Oh, a Machoke. Let's see. I would love to try and catch a Machoke. Little game that we have an extension I plugged in. Let's see, did I catch it? I did. Oh wow, level 15 Machoke with some pretty horrible IVs. Oh dear. That's real bad. That guy's gonna get wonder traded for sure. But hey, thank you so much for joining me, Dr. Praetorius. That means a lot. Started doing this streaming to not hobby super alone for many hours every week, and every little bit counts. Alright, so a bunch of sanding stuff, and there we have it, all out and labeled in our sub-assemblies. My scribing tools are all going to get here tomorrow, so right now we're just going to get rid of all of these snipper nubs and such. We're not going to worry about putting parts together or anything like that. So what I like to do is I like to just keep these in rough grit organization. So what were you painting, Dr. Praetorius? It's super weird having it so you guys can't see my face, to be honest. but it's nice. It'll be a nice chill night, I think. Or actually, I'll probably get to see whatever you're looking at. Bolters at Dawn. I took a little bit of a step away from Discord. It wasn't as fun going on there. I got some pretty hateful comments on a paint job that I posted up in one of my Discords that I'm a part of, and it got a little discouraging, so I just took a little bit of a step away. It takes a lot for me to put my stuff out there, so it was really disheartening. Ooh, lots of bottles of liquid. I've never really made bottles of liquid that end up looking like liquid for my models. Gotta find a good way to do that. I hope you shared how you did it. Or is the bottles of liquid on the model, I guess? Because if they're modeled on the model, I don't have any issues. Which model received the little bit of discouragement? It was actually the Good Enough painting gallery. I shared that with someone. And they just kind of gave a lot of feedback that was unsolicited and very elitist. And that's the issue that I have with it. Was a wargaming forum. I'll be honest, when it comes to unsolicited feedback, the worst community is probably the Warhammer 40k community. I should have known what I was getting into, but yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, so they're modeled on there. Yeah, whenever I try and make like vials and something like out of clay, like here's the last time I tried it. I made these little balls out of some air dry clay, and I was like, well, fuck, now what? And I was like, damn it, never mind. I was gonna do it for that scratch trash build because I had some leftover clay, and I was like, well, now what do I do with them? And I just kind of stopped. Don't get me wrong, I take criticism kind of okay, but it was just a lot of unsolicited stuff was all. Because there's little things like, hey, I would have done this a little bit better, or hey, I would have done that a little bit better, or here's a good way to make your blends better, or shades better, things like that. And I genuinely appreciate stuff like that. But it was more, are you sure that you should be selling this? This isn't very good. I'm like, man, it's good enough painting. I wanted an accurate representation of the work that people would be getting. And yeah, I used to do the thing where I would spend 10 or 15 hours on every single model I did and make it look absolutely stellar. Like, just on par with some of the best stuff that I was seeing out there. But I just stopped having fun with that about a year ago. And then I started doing the Good Enough Painting stuff to try and help a lot of people that just couldn't paint models themselves or didn't want to. I know it was a little disheartening when that was some of the feedback that I got. Now, what is that little part? Oh, it's one of the little vent things. So we're just going to get this to the point where it'll fit in. Bad vibes, I haven't experienced that much. I've seen some passive aggressive stuff. Yeah, for Warhammer. Yeah. Mine's not usually been on Discords and stuff. Normally it's on Reddit. Or Facebook groups, personally. Which are kind of a little bit more of a good pool for that kind of stuff. Yeah, so to be clear, yeah, it's not usually Discord, it's just this guy happened to be on a Discord. But yeah, it's all good. Normally I don't share my stuff. Alrighty. Am I going to sand that off, or am I'm going to try and sand this off first before breaking out the X-Acto knife. We're going to be repainting this whole thing, so just kind of angling the sanding stick. There, good deal, and then we'll buff that out. Yeah, passive aggressive stuff, that actually makes me giggle a little bit. Yeah. Or one thing that I sometimes myself have been guilty of doing is when somebody posts up something, I'm like, oh, I did that. I want to share my version of that. And then I post it up. It can be very discouraging for some people, especially as I started painting miniatures only about 2 years ago, maybe 2.5. And when people used to do that, it would be really discouraging because I was like, oh, this is like the best thing I've ever done. I get people are just excited sometimes about the stuff that they've done that they're proud of. I totally understand that. So like I said, I've been guilty of that a couple of times. I was trying to remember and catch myself though. And I say, because there's tons of posts where people are like, I need inspiration for Necron ideas. Send me what you guys have done. And then I'll try and remember to send that stuff. But when I just see a model that I've painted and I know I've painted it very well, and I see someone post up and they haven't probably done. Yeah, good tabletop standard. That some of my earlier live streams, I really did talk about how terrible of a phrase tabletop standard has become, especially with the introduction of Games Workshop putting official rules around it and stuff too. Lots of people have started calling a lot of stuff tabletop standard that is genuinely amazing stuff. Well, actually, so to clarify, I like that GW has put and defined good tabletop standard, but a lot of people don't play Warhammer, so when you say tabletop standard to them, they think of it a little bit differently, so it kind of gets a little misconstrued. And yes, something you've absolutely sweated on, and you're like, here it is, and they're like, wow, I can't wait for you to send me a picture when it's done. And I'm like, dude, it is done. I'm done with it. That's always, I see that all the time too. Like, oh no, I was done with it. I'm no longer having fun painting this. I would like to be done now, sir, if that's okay with you. So many parts to sand here. So much care and effort goes into these Gundam kits. I absolutely love it. I wish other companies like GW would get on this level of care when it comes to thinking about the assembly and such of a kit. Like the multi flashpoint injection molding process. Things like that. We're definitely going to have some scribing tool stuff to do. Very excited to get all that in. And when I say multi-flashpoint, things like this. So it's actually a couple of different release temperatures and melting temperatures for a couple of these parts. So oops, that shouldn't have, oops, my bad. Let's get that back in there the way it's meant to be. So this part was cut directly off this sprue. So the first one is injection molded, and then the second layer is injection molded on top of that, but it has a lower flash point or melt point, so it's actually able to fold and more mold in there. Such a cool part. All right. Oh, yeah, just one of those people that goes out there and only posts his own stuff. Yeah, those people are like, if you're gonna get involved in a community, you have to be involved in the community and not just use it as a way to get pats on the tushy that say good job or gold stars. Like, even if I have nothing to say, if I happen to catch it and I honestly think that it's a good model, or like that looks awesome, I say it. But yeah, doesn't take a lot to absolutely make somebody's day. I always feel like I could do better about talking about other people's stuff, but I still do it, so I feel like I'm in a good spot. If you're in a situation where you feel like you could be doing something more, it means you're doing it a little bit at the very least, and you're thinking about it. So that's always a good spot to be in. But if you never think about it, or you think, oh, I've done enough, then you're probably doing it for the wrong reasons and such. Wild Sand Shrew appeared in chat. I'm gonna pass on that one, on that guy, I think. I believe. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one. That looks good. We're going to look at these armor pieces too and make sure we don't want to do any sub-assemblies. And then we'll do any sub-assemblies we're going to do. And then the scribing stuff will be here by the time we're done with this. And then we'll scribe and sand them again. And then they'll go in the ultrasonic cleaner and be ready for painting. So yeah, lots and lots of parts to do. We did that one, now we're going to do these. And all of these. Yes, this is a personal model. I got asked about doing a Gundam commission for somebody. I said I don't do them, but I'd like to someday. So this is a model that I'm doing just to kind of see, and I have a little timer going for how much time's actually gone into it. And so far we are up to 11 hours. So this is probably not going to be something that I offer for commissions. Oh no, not 11 hours, sorry, 6 hours. Yeah, I usually estimate on myself for about 2 hours per model. So then I end up, when I do commissions and stuff, it ends up being about somewhere between $2 and $3 an hour for commissions. I don't like to do an hourly rate, but that's about what it breaks out to. that gonna buff out? Yeah. But this would be too much, because this is only like a $36 kit. I'm not gonna charge anybody the appropriate amount for that. They'd end up charging more for the assembly and the painting and everything than they would for the model, and that's not what I'm about. That's not what I'm trying to do. Plus, Gundam kits are so easy. Good Enough Painting is all about helping people that don't do this kind of stuff. Gundam is so easy that we don't really do that. You don't have that community of people that just like it. Not like D&D, where there's people that play D&D but don't paint miniatures. Things like that. Alright, that looks good. Did we get all the little nublets? Yeah. Let's get you. Hate these parts where the flash, not flash, the sprue right there is right over the edge. Gotta make sure we're sanding away from it to make sure parts still fit together right. Just a couple passes with each. Oh shit. I thought my wife already went to bed. I just heard her walking around upstairs. There we go. Ugh. Now, at least this one's not going to be as bad. And heck, once my fingers start to get tired of holding all these parts, we might play some games or something. I'm not going to use the 1,000 on that. I'll probably use the 1,000 on these parts. Oh, lots and lots of little tiny parts. Let's take some drugs. Take our medication here. Drink a little of our mystery flavor Mountain Dew. Can't figure out what this flavor is. It is voodoo. That should be a hint that helps, but it does not. Alright, how many parts do we have left on here? Oh, a lot. Okay. Ugh. Let's go ahead and get them out so I can at least see what all I have left to do as I move through this. Oh, geez. We good? One more thruster. Aha! Alright, so we gotta sand all these down. Lots and lots of parts. Okay. Oh, the sanding stick is almost worn down. That looks good. That's smooth enough. And this over here. Good deal. Yeah, I hate the little rounded bits. It's always thrusters and stuff. Which I appreciate the way they injection mold them. Again, shows the care that Bandai puts into how they're actually putting these kits together. You don't ever have mold lines that run down the thrusters and such, because it's an actual below injection mold, allowing gravity to help fill in those little gaps. And in terms of commissions, I think I'm pretty much caught up. I got Gotrek. It's the only thing I've gotten for the month so far. It's that guy. So yeah, I don't do a lot of commissions. Yeah. Only when people need help. There's that. Good deal. I think I'll probably do the... No, there isn't really any sub-assembly frame I can do. Sub-assembly I can do on this part of the internal frame because it needs to connect up to this, which will need to be partially dissected in order to get painted. So what we can actually do is we can just go ahead and start putting these parts back in here when they're done. And we'll have to think about how we want to scribe some of this stuff. We definitely need those armor bits to stand out a little bit more. So we'll probably scribe all of that and then add some other little details and knickknacks here and there. Because this is like this one, pretty good. This one got a little bit too much negative space. We'll put down a template or we'll get some paper out or something. It'll be the first thing I ever scribed, so definitely gonna be a learning experience for sure. Alrighty. I'm really looking forward to trying to scribe some of my Tau models though. Just for extra Tron looking stuff. That's gonna be fun. Oh, you got a lot of little... Pre-roll ads are on. Run an ad break to remove them. Well, I don't think anyone's going to click on my stream. But if they do, we will go ahead and we'll run one of those in just a minute. And just like that, pre-roll ads are disabled for 32 minutes. Oh, I think that would be really cool. I hope it works too. So missing melee weapon. Fortunately, I have a spare axe. What do you mean GW made it illegal? Are you talking about WYSIWYG? Because WYSIWYG's definitely more of a thing that I think people make into bigger, more of a bigger deal than it actually is. Because I've been at tournaments and stuff with some pretty not WYSIWYG stuff, and as long as it doesn't cause issues or you're changing things, no one ever really cares. But I used to fret about it a lot more. Unless you're talking about, like, they don't even allow you to. Oops, misspelled Pokeball. Like, that model doesn't exist anymore without a melee weapon. Why can't I buy that item? Oh. Ha! I figured it out. Yeah. And let's go ahead. We're just going to buy 2. And let's go ahead and let's try and catch a Scraggy. I like Scraggy. That's a good Pokemon. See, did I catch it? Hey! Oh no, that was the Machoke I caught. Machoke. Drat. Yeah, let me know what you're doing. Because I'm pretty sure WYSIWYG's always been a thing that GW requires. But they do change the loadouts that are actually available for a lot of models pretty often. Yeah, I've gone to tournaments with Riptides that had the different, that had the shield that weren't supposed to. But as long as I wasn't changing it up in between matches or anything, no opponent ever cared. I played against tons of guys where I didn't even know what their armies were, or what half their units were. I love undergated pieces too. Don't need to worry about their sprues as much. Absolutely beautiful. Just gonna get rid of a little bit of the stress marks there. Undergating being that the injection molded piece is actually here on this side that gets inserted over top of something else. Such a genius way to do it. And then we come to a piece like this. Ugh. With these nubs being very, very easily messed up. So we're just going to shave them down at a little bit of an angle. That should help. Oh no, we got another tube here? Yeah. So we're just going to get rid of that mold line. And then, is that the sprue? Yeah, that's the sprue mark right there. Is that another sprue mark? Heck yeah, it is. Well, it was. Now it's going to be gone. I definitely understand that need to make things WYSIWYG as well, though. I will say that. I'm like that. Like, even my Eldar Shuriken cannons need to be, sorry, the underslung weapons on my Wind Riders, I try and make sure those are alright. If they're not, it bugs me just a little bit. I hope Wind Riders are good in the new codex. They're so cool. Like jet bikes. I love the unit. I don't really care what's good and what's not. But they were just so bad in the last edition that it just didn't feel good to play them because they never did their thing. Like zip up the board and hold an objective and be vehicles that are slightly hard to kill. They were definitely more difficult to use. And I don't even care if they were good, they were just too expensive to. If they were cheaper, I would definitely put them in more lists. But they were so expensive to put on the field. So it's just like, I could sink 500 points into this, or I could get a couple wave serpents. I wonder which one I want to do. Oh wow, it does not feel like I've been online for 42 minutes, jeez. Oh, hey, yeah, Dr. Pretorius, yeah. Post up your stuff in the Discord too when you're done. You have a great rest of your night, and hopefully we'll have pictures of this Gundam up in the next, month or so. It's gonna be a long build, but I gotta get my Bolters at Dawn stuff done too. So those will be just some D&D models like this Slad. That's one of these guys. But you have a good rest of your night, and you have a... Thanks for hanging out, man. Okay. Where was this piece? Whoops. I think it was out of here. Yeah. Okay. Get this next piece all sanded down. Start with this one. This is a pretty bad sprue. I think this is meant to be flat. Ah, go away. There it is. Well. Yay, that's nice. I think I nicked this model at some point. Probably just with the sprue clippers or something. Ugh, you're a thruster. Again, I hate thrusters. At least they're usually top gated. Hey, lick a tongue in chat. Hey. trick to this is not letting yourself do it for too long, I think. Otherwise, you get bored and you start trying to get through parts rather than enjoying the experience of them. It's very easy to want to just bust through a bunch of sanding, or snipping, or assembling, or painting. Painting, it's a little bit better because it's harder to cut the corners on that part of it. But the rest of this, you gotta make sure you take all the time on the first part that you did on the last part. And everything in between. Except for fucking thrusters. Those can go to hell. I hate thrusters. Any rounded bits. Because they never feel like you never feel like you sanded them right. Oof. Okay. Oh, nice. A part that isn't round. That's a nice little break. Hey, I have a new little avatar running around in there. For the Gundam build. I like it. Normally I do a face cam and all that stuff, but this is just a random late night stream. We're sanding some parts. This is the Zaku 2 build. It's Tuesday, we'll be scribing. Start that process. Alright, this is an internal part, so we're just going to make sure we have it done to the point where it'll go together well. This is an external vent, so we'll do this one really well. Making sure to sand in the same direction every time. Or maybe not every time in between parts, but there we go, it's nice and polished. Right. Got another part. Yeah, is it a thruster? Yep, there's the thruster. Ugh, I hate the rounded bits. I don't mind uneven surfaced bits. I just don't like rounded ones. Especially tiny ones like this. They're a little hard to hold on to. And I don't like grabbing the tweezers to hold on to them. Or wait, I don't think that's in a, I don't think that's another user, is it? Oh, it is, yeah. Alrighty. Ah, it's a thruster again. Oh, that's a new one. Gotta get rid of these mold lines. This is an external vent piece.
Again, this piece had a lot of mold lines on the other part. What's fun is usually these are oftentimes mirrors of each other. Okay. Oh, almost lost a piece there. Oh, this is the chest. There's plenty of little tiny bits and bobs in this one. Hey, a wild clang appears. 100%, we're going to try and poke catch that one. Pokemon! Ah! Ah! Do a real quick ad to get rid of the pre-roll ad. I'm going to grab some tweezers here. Just so we can gently hold these tiny pieces. A little water. Go ahead and clean this up a little bit. Let that one dry. We'll switch to this one. That one looks pretty good, actually. I'm going to pull this one towards me. be is it's actually cut in such a way that if we go both directions, we might end up with a little bit of an overhang. And we don't want that. Because we need that part to be flush. Generally, you can also line your sanding stick up along the edge of the part, and just to make sure that you don't end up with an overhang. Go, just doing some more sanding. What I like about the sanding sponges is the ability to add a little bit of pressure without taking off too much material. Although sometimes for some of these more stubborn nubs it can be a little difficult. See that? It's a huge nub. But it's not a super obvious one, so we'll just stick with the stick on this one. No need to break out all the sponges and stuff. Because I believe the back of this is the equivalent of an 800 grit. Yeah. And the front is a like 450 or something like that. So it's the roughest one I use. Alright. Oh, we are almost done. Jeez, we only got 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are long ones though. Ah. I lost my lurker there. That's okay though. I think I'm gonna take a short break and eat some chicken nuggets. Alright, I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to grab some sleep here so that Cyber can enjoy this stream as he's been following along on my epic journey for the Zaku build. So we're just going to finish sanding up these last couple parts, and then we will take a couple hours of a break. I'll get some sleep, and yeah, we'll come back to it. But in the meantime, let's go ahead and we will get some of these sanded up. Oh, there it is. And there's the other one. I ate some chicken nuggets as a snack. And this is again some of that instruction step 7 stuff. This is the chest armor. And again, this is not what I normally do. I normally have a face cam and a couple of regulars and stuff, but this is a lot later than I normally stream, so I think my regulars are elsewhere. Probably asleep, given I know at least one of them is in Canada. And it is 2 in the morning in Canada. It's 2 a.m. And I would have woken him up and been like, hey, come watch my stream. But I didn't think that was fair. So he's just gonna have to miss out on this one. Oh. My restream seems to have disconnected. We'll fix that in a minute. Oh, that's nice and smooth. It's really weird. Huh. Take a picture of all of the... Select all the pictures that include cars in them. Yep, those are all cars. Alright. And when we come back, we'll have stuff like my face and all of that other good stuff in it. Let's try reloading the page instead. Did I get logged out of restream? No. But I have been live for much longer than 30 minutes. Very odd. Everything seems to be working. Maybe? Am I online on Twitch? Oh. Very odd. Let's go ahead and end the YouTube stream. That might help. Oh, I can't toggle one or the other. Okay. I want to log in with my Twitch. Huh. Well, Restream seems to be having a little bit of a trouble. So let's go ahead and we're just gonna hope that we're online. We're just gonna keep on sanding. And again, just going in one direction on this helps a lot. And even though the sandpaper is omnidirectional, when you make grooves with it, it is not. When you're using the higher grit, you want to kind of be a little bit more gentle, because it's a higher grit, so it's softer. You're really supposed to be buffering with this, especially when it's your highest grit. There we go. Sorry, as I was saying, even if the sandpaper is omnidirectional, you have to tell it what direction you want it to go. This is an internal frame piece, so I'm gonna, I believe, yeah, I think this is not one that you're gonna see at least this part of. So pieces like this, again, we're just gonna be using the sanding stick and make sure that we've made it easy for these parts to go together. Means when we flatten the piece, we're going to go ahead and draw it to a little bit of an angle here, like so. This will make the pieces a little bit easier to go together. Yeah, just like that. Ta-da! I do like doing the angled piece. Think of it kind of like rounding a dowel rod or something. Makes it just a little bit easier to go together. This is obviously an external, so we're going to make sure we get it nice and buffed out. So start with the 600 and then go to the 800. And then finally to the 1000. Again, very gentle at the 1000. There's a lot of little bumps in there. You don't need to press very hard. Alrighty. Just like so. But you can usually tell when a piece is internal or external based on what you can see in the details. So I'll show you what I'm talking about here in just a second. So here you can see these little gibbets and stuff. I think autofocus is actually turned off on my camera. One sec. Close-up cam. Properties. Configure video. We'll turn autofocus on and we'll hit apply. Then we'll hit OK. Well, hey, kitty cat. My cat wants to join us for some Gundam. Come on up. She likes to sit behind me in my chair here. Come on. Yeah, I got you, baby girl. Oh, a wild Azumarill is here in chat. Let's catch that. Do I have a Pokeball? I do. Nice. Let's see what we got. Did I get it? I didn't get it. Drat. Oh well. Hey, baby girl. Do you want pets or do you just want to chill? Because if you want pets, you're going to have to wait about 10 minutes. She won't wait. She'll just go chill in the bed. And when we have these parts that are external, we want to really make sure to buff them up good. Like so. Actually, this one. Ta-da. And then we just have these last couple little pieces. That one I already started to sand. I wonder why I stopped. Well, I think I was starting to get bored when I was cutting things out of sprue here. Alrighty. Yeah, I think we're good. And then this is definitely an internal connector, so we're just going to grab it with the tweezers and use again the more rough sanding side of the sanding stick. And then the, I really got to look up what grit this is. It's probably like 600 maybe. Feel it here. Yeah, I'd say about 600. It feels a lot like the 600 sanding sponge. But we're just gonna make sure that we have that together. And there we go, guys. We did 1, 2, 3 sections. They were kind of bigger sections too. We got one more big section here, a small section. This is gonna be an easy one because there aren't a lot of pieces, but they're big like that. And then, ooh. Looks like the shoulders are going to be a lot of sanding. Oh geez. So we still have a ways to go here, and then tomorrow I will start popping all this shit in the ultrasonic cleaner, one little batch at a time. And yeah, keep an eye out. If anyone's watching this now, I'm gonna go online in a couple hours, and yeah, I hope you have a great rest of your night. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, thank you so much for joining me. Next one we will have my face in, probably, if I can get the energy to set up that other camera.